Welcome to the Beyond the Backboard Podcast. This is episode 70. I want to say 77. Yeah, 77. My name is Omar. Next to me is Earl. Below me is Max. Earl, where's your camera today? I know we're representing Luka Doncic.
It's loading. 1 second.
Yeah, it's all good. No worries. Take your time. Maybe I'll start it off. And I love Earl's profile picture. I think that's a really awesome photo. Like, I gotta say,
Omar, were you in playoff? Were you in the chat last night? Obviously, we are live streaming on playoff.
No, unfortunately.
Were you in the playoff LA last night for the profile picture shenanigans?
No, I wasn't. Unfortunately, I was at work.
You missed out. Then you missed out.
What happened?
You had to have been there. It was a time in all of our lives.
Oh man, that's crazy. That is.
All I'm saying is everyone should tune in live to the playback playoff LAL chat room if you want some fun shenanigans.
There was 20 Cadens. Oh my god.
20 is a bit much. There were like 8 Cadens.
It was the Caden and the multiverse of madness.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that's bad. Holy crap. Did we see like an evil version of Caden at one point? Is that what happened?
No, they all look the same, but it's just different.
Man. Oh, I don't think Caden is capable of being evil. Oh, you got a screenshot, Jake?
Yo, this is hilarious. I'm gonna share this. I'm just gonna share this on stream so the YouTubers can see this as well.
Yeah.
Let me get on it.
We love Caden.
This is crazy.
We love
there are 20 Cadens on stream.
I'm actually looking at the LeBron song.
Oh my god.
We know you've been looking at that.
Wait, what?
No, I'm saying that's what I see on my screen.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing on my stream as well.
No, I have. Y'all haven't heard the remix? Y'all are still in Gen 1 of the LeBron song?
There we are.
Omar's in Gen 1.
There we are. This is
a
shit ton of Cadens.
Which one's the real Caden?
No, that is Caden.
But which one is the real one?
That one right there.
There's a shit ton of them. It doesn't matter.
I think it's that one to the right of the one highlighted, but I'm not sure.
Man.
It could be.
No, it's that one right there.
Oh, it's the one on the far right because I think he's got the mute sign. I think it's the far left or third
it's
to
the
left.
One right there.
Maybe third to left. I'm either going to go third to left.
I'm just so confused how there ended up with 20 of Caden on one stream.
You had to be there, but
that's fine.
Like Omar said, welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Backboard.
Okay, good to know.
We have a lot of fun content to go over today, and of course, this is our weekly all around the league NBA podcast, hosted by Omar, Max, and Earl. So let's get to it, baby.
Yes, welcome back, guys. Today we're gonna get into. I don't have the doc up, Max. I have everything up but the doc. You wanna bring that up for me real quick? I'm sorry.
Sure. Well, today we're gonna start off with. I think it's appropriate to start off with the hottest team in the NBA. We don't do power rankings on this show. We could if y'all want to. So comment below if you want to see that.
Something we could probably get into.
We don't do power rankings at the moment, but if we did, this would be the number one team on the power rankings. It is the Cleveland Cavaliers for a reason. The Cavalanche, as some people are calling them, which I think is quite a good nickname. The Cavalanche. You get like an avalanche. The
Cavalanche. That sounds like a name like the Anomaly. Like I don't.
To be clear,
come on.
To be clear, who's using that nickname though? By the way, Cavalanche. Never heard that.
You've never heard the Cavalanche?
0 out of 10, bro. I'm sorry.
Oh, come on. No, it's not worse than the Anomaly.
Negative 50 out of
100. I gotta say, the one nickname that I actually like, and y'all might actually clown me for this, is the head of the table for Jalen Brunson, because not only does it shout out to his big ass head, but it just shouts out to he's the leader of the goddamn Knicks.
How can he be the head of the table if he's not the leader of the team? That's tough.
He is the leader of the team. That's crazy.
You know how
chat, we need some opinions. Do we think that Jalen Brunson is
the head of the table sits in the front of the table, like
whose
the top
nickname
part?
Is that? Whose
Jalen Brunson sits on the middle end. Jackson Hayes, by the way, it's Jackson Hayes.
Goodness gracious, guys, what are we doing?
Yeah,
this was supposed to be a nice segment about the Cleveland Cavaliers.
All right, yeah, let's get into it. Sorry. Yeah, they're playing well.
Yeah.
Another 14 straight. This is their second one this year, though, right?
They had a 17, I want to say, at the start. Weren't they 17-0? Jack can correct me on this, but I think it was 17 that they started off with. It was some crazy long win streak. But the Cavs they've done it again. They are currently the best team in the NBA. 17. Thank you, Jake. They're the best team in the NBA record-wise. Even better than the Thunder, even better than the Celtics. They're the only team in the NBA currently locked into the playoffs. I mean, there's a bunch of teams that, the Thunder will be locked in very soon. The Celtics will be locked in soon. Lakers, Nuggets will all get locks, I'm sure, in the coming weeks. But as of right now, when we're recording this, it's only the Cavs. So I wanted to talk briefly about what is different with this Cavs team from last year. Because obviously, they brought in, they made some changes, but this is in large part the same roster. So how has these guys kind of developed to become the best team in the NBA? Because I think right now we can unanimously say they are the best team. Are they the favorites for the title? You can debate that, but right now they're playing the best basketball in the league. So what changed in the last 12 months for this team as we're looking at this Cavalanche unfold in real time?
You killed that. Like, I was ready to go right into it, then you said the Cavalanche again. Like, you turned me off to the idea.
I think it's a good name. I like the
name. Two things changed. Number one, Kenny Atkinson. Number two, Johnny Bryant. Those are the two things that really happened to the Cavaliers that I can really think made an actual difference. I mean, Kenny Atkinson, when we're going to look back on it, we're going to look back on this moment and we're going to look back at the actual standings for Coach of the Year. And we're going to realize this was Kenny Atkinson by a long shot. So it's going to be really interesting. And honestly, when I say the Cavalanche, what happened to the Cavalanche? Omar, get it right, of course.
Thank you.
Sorry, Lakers Zone. He's always in here correcting me, but shout out to Lakers Zone. But that's all I had to really say, to be completely honest.
To add on to that, I think the biggest thing for me is Evan Mobley. I think he's definitely taking a jump. I was looking at the stats to compare. Last year he was putting up 15.7 points with 9.4 rebounds. This year he's putting up 18.5 with 9.4 rebounds. So rebounding is the same, obviously, but points have gone up. Probably by 3 points ish, somewhere around that range. Steals look good, blocks are still consistent as well. I think overall, he's playing better. He's truly turned into that third option. Yeah. He's expanded his range a little bit. I know he's not the most consistent shooter, but he's shooting around 36% from 3 on 3 attempts a game compared to last year when he was only taking 1 attempt a game. So I think Evan Mobley, he's taking a pretty good jump as well. Garland too. I mean, not a huge difference as far as points per game, but he still did go up 3. Almost. He went from 18 to 20.9. So that's impressive as well. And obviously he was an all-star too this year. So I think everybody is kind of I think I agree with Omar too about coaching. A lot of it has to do with Kenny Atkinson. I mean, some people talked over the summer, what could a head coach do for this Cleveland team? Obviously it's done wonders. People are buying into his system. They're playing great. They win the games they're supposed to win. They even win They win the hard games and they make it look easy. I think that's the best way I can put it. They're really good at being consistent. So I'll give that to the Cavaliers. They're playing great basketball this year overall.
And one thing I'll shout out for the Cavs that I think people aren't really talked about has been their bench. Because as good as their starting five is, and their starting five, especially with DeAndre Hunter, is really, really good, you can't be the best team in the NBA without some form of bench. And we've seen guys that I don't think most people expected to be major contributors coming into the season step up in a big way. I mean, number one has to be Ty Jerome. The fact that Ty Jerome is averaging 12 points a game off the bench this year, I don't think anyone saw that coming, even the biggest Ty Jerome fans, but he is a legitimate sixth man for that team, scoring option off the bench. He can shoot the three. He can get to the basket. He can create his own shot. We see him sometimes lead that second unit offensively, at points. So I think that's been the biggest kind of unexpected plus. I don't think many people expected to get that kind of production from Ty Jerome, but here you are. You've got Karis LeVert. You've got Niang just spotting up in the corner. Sam Merrill's a decent enough shooter. All these guys contribute, and they play minutes. This is not a team that does not play their bench. These guys play a lot of minutes, and if there's ever injuries, these guys step into the starting lineup. Look at Dean Wade. I know he had to play some big minutes and stretches this season when they had injuries to their big men. He stepped up and filled the role admirably. So as good as I think the rest of the team has been, as y'all pointed out, the bench unit for me is really – that's where they're, I think, making up the difference in some of these games, because you can't win without a bench unit, I think.
Yeah, I think that's really important as well. And we have to understand, like, DeAndre Hunter did what Josh Hart did to the Knicks last year. As soon as Josh Hart came onto the Knicks last year, when he was traded onto the, I'm sorry, 2 years ago at this point, but they went on an instant 9-0 streak, and then they lost the 10th game. I won't get into that, but that's what happened. This is kind of the same situation. As soon as he got traded, they started to go on a 14-game streak. So it really did add to their bench. So DeAndre Hunter is a bigger piece than maybe people expected him to be. As well.
No, Hunter is legit. I feel like as soon as we saw that move, I think we all came on this podcast and said that was a really good move, because he fits that. Yeah. The only weakness they had in their starting lineup was the small forward, whether that was Max Strus, Karis LeVert. Hunter gives them, as long as he's healthy, a really, really – I mean, to have DeAndre Hunter as a fifth option, that's a luxury.
Yeah. Same thing happened with the Thunder. When last year, they're really where they struggled was paint defense and perimeter defense. And they immediately solved it they immediately solved it, but unfortunately they got injured by Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein. Two guys that are known for one interior and two perimeter. So,
you know what's crazy about Hunter too? I just checked the stats. Believe it or not, since being a Cleveland Cavalier, on 4.7 attempts a game, he's shooting 50% from three, bro. Which is absolutely insane. Crazy.
I will 50%
say 50% from three, bro.
As is being pointed out,
almost
in the chat,
5 a game.
As is being pointed out in the chat, there could definitely be some matchup concerns with the Cavs in the playoffs. I think that's the one spot where you can look at that starting lineup and raise some questions, is kind of the two very small guards and two very tall, big lineup. Yeah. I mean, obviously it's worked very well in the regular season, but how is that going to fare in the playoffs? Because we have seen that. We've seen it have some success in the past.
Yep.
Also have seen it not have some success. Again, the fact that Mobley's playing at a level we haven't seen him play before. Garland stepped up his game. I think that gives that lineup a better chance of succeeding. But still, when you're playing a team like the Celtics, that's, kind of homogenized basketball, spaced out 1 through 5. Again, they beat the Celtics in the regular season, but when they, I think it's a fair enough point to raise. Can they guard a 5-out Celtics offense? Are the Celtics going to hunt the two bigs, pull them out on the perimeter and limit Mobley's efficientness? Are you going to see Jrue Holiday and Derek White posting up Darius Garland? But what are you going to do? Put Donovan Mitchell on him? That's not going to do anything.
Yeah, but then that also brings up the other guy on this team that we're also going to talk about soon, Donovan Mitchell, who's arguably the leader of this team and should be in MVP conversations. Like, let's be real for a second. He should be in MVP conversations. I'm not sure why he isn't. He's done. Yeah. I think he's the clear leader of that team, and they're the best. He's the best player on the best team. It's that simple.
Yeah. I mean, it's surprising that he's not at least being mentioned, because I remember, what was it, last year? Tatum was in MVP conversations because the Celtics were running away with the best record. And Tatum wasn't having he was having a very good season, but he wasn't having the statistical season that like Jokic or Embiid was having up to a point, or even like Luka. But his name was still in like the MVP quote unquote conversation, just simply because he was the best player on the best team. So I don't see why Tatum got that benefit of the doubt last year, but we're not getting.
I think he is. I actually think he is.
Like, add to it, like, I don't know, bro. I think surely. Okay, I'll say it like this: should he be at least in the voting? Probably so. Is he in the front running? Not at all. And the reason I bring that up is, like, as good as Donovan Mitchell is, like, it's a 2-on-2 battle. Like, we can just be honest. It's Shea and Jokic again. And the reason why is because both of those guys are putting up unreal numbers. Like, shout out to Donovan Mitchell. This year, he's averaging 24, 4, and 8. No, 24, 4, and 5, basically. Jokic is averaging 28.9, 13 rebounds, 10.5 assists. Shea is averaging 32.7, 5 rebounds, and 6.2 assists. Like, those are just – it's just – like, I don't want to say leagues ahead, tiers ahead, but as far as like MVP numbers, maybe like a couple years ago, but it's just the way the ceiling of Jokic and Shea is right now. Plus, they're still top teams in their individual divisions as well. I think it just makes it a harder argument. But I do agree. He definitely should be in those type of conversations. Yeah, and shout out to JT as well. 27, 8-5 last year. MVP conversations, not just team. Yeah, I agree. I think the numbers are just so like the difference between him, Shea, and Jokic is just too drastic. But he definitely, I mean, conversation wise, yeah, sure, you can throw him in there like conversation wise for sure. I say him, Tatum as well, like guys like that. You can definitely put the idea out there, but it's just.
And then we talk about the
topping is too big. Like,
and then we talk about Jokic's like first in history 30-20-20. And it's like it's really hard to compete with that. I'm not saying he should go and win. Don't get me wrong.
And the second seed, by the way, too, Omar.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, and them being the second seed too, by the way, too, like, added on to it.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not saying that they're gonna go on there and win Donovan Mitchell. But I do think he deserves like a top 5 spot because, frankly, I do think he's doing better at this time than Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's top 4. Respectfully, as respectfully as possible.
What's his number?
I'm gonna say LeBron. He's doing a little bit better than LeBron as well, as respectfully as possible.
Who? Donovan Mitchell?
Yes,
probably so. Yeah.
I mean, then on top of that, I'm saying he's doing better than Jason Tatum as well. So those are
the Tatum take, but I could definitely see Giannis and LeBron having better MVP.
Yeah, Giannis is averaging 30 and 12.
You know what's even crazier? Jason Tatum is the highest on that list. Jason Tatum at 3, Giannis at 4.
Giannis this year, bro. Wait, we're saying Mitchell MVP wise is better than Giannis?
I think he should be top 3.
I
think it's anything above top 2 is ludicrous. No. I'm not saying that because that's reserved for. I think he's doing better than Giannis.
Bro. He's not though. He's not. He doesn't beat Giannis in any category. Like literally no category he beats Giannis in. Points, rebounds, or assists.
Okay, we can say that, but it's the same for Jokic, and then people are still putting Shea over him for MVP.
It's not the same because Shea is averaging more points per game than Jokic.
I mean, yeah, but he's also Jokic is also averaging seven more rebounds and 4 more assists.
I know, but you said your point was that my point was that Donovan Mitchell doesn't beat Giannis in any category.
Let me clarify something real quick. Playoff Jake Mitchell over Bron now. 40-year-old Bron.
You can put an age on it. It doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying. 40. I'm not saying like a prime Bron.
I feel like you haven't checked stats in a minute, bro.
LeBron right now is averaging close to his prime stats.
Yes, he's averaging 25 points a game, 8 rebounds, 8.5 assists, shooting 38% from 3.
That I'm not saying that's not true.
Like 24, like 4 and 4. Like it's levels. It's levels, Omar, and he's 40. So you mean to tell me if Bron was like 25 right now, that by those metrics, I say he'd be putting up 40. 40
I think he would be putting up 30 in the league that we have right now.
Obviously, kidding though.
I think LeBron would average 30 in prime in a league.
Here's a question from the chat: If we took Donovan Mitchell off the Cavs right now, where would they be in the Eastern Conference?
I don't know.
If Donovan Mitchell had got hurt at the start of the season,
4th,
at least 5th, at least 5th.
Well, I mean, and then is that like him? I mean, they're still top 4 in the league without him.
I mean, it's still. I'm not saying that. They're.
Because then you got to think, where would the Bucks be without Giannis? Are the Bucks even a playoff team without Giannis?
No, they turned into the Portland Trailblazers when Damian Lillard had
MVP.
Well, the Lakers
is someone who affects the game in a winning culture. When we lost LeBron,
we got a lot of echoes.
Lost to the Nets. Oh, I don't know what that is, but I hear it too. Yeah.
No, I don't hear anything.
What's up? I just want to. Yeah, I still hear myself. That's weird.
I mean, if you take LeBron off the Lakers, they fall out the playoffs. I mean, I don't know about Tatum. If you take Tatum off the Celtics, they're still probably a top 5 or 6 seed.
Okay.
So that's where I'm like, I think I would give guys like LeBron and Giannis the slight edge because I think they're more essential to their team. They're having to shoulder more of a load. And like, obviously, I think Donovan Mitchell tanking some of those stats for team success is a noble enough thing. And I think that will pay dividends when it comes time to win in the playoffs. However, if we're just talking about strictly MVP, which should be an individual award, the fact that he isn't shouldering his load hurts him, which I think he's okay with. I don't think he really cares whether he wins MVP. I think he'd rather his team be the first seed in the playoffs than get MVP, which is respectable, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's my point about, like, sure, Donovan Mitchell obviously having a great season. Cavs are having a great season in general. But I just don't see him being a better MVP candidate than LeBron. Definitely not Giannis at all. Like, I don't even think that's a question, bro. Like, Giannis is putting up 30.9 points a game, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists.
Honestly, Giannis is underrated. I think it's got to the point where Giannis is underrated. The Bucks are still fourth in the East. They're not like terrible.
It's just another argument in terms of like, okay, in terms of impact. Like, this player may be averaging less points per game or doing this differently, but he's still impacting the game differently. For example, Jalen Brunson's points this year went down, but his assists went up. He's doing more to sacrifice. He's doing more in terms of getting his points down, but also turning the efficiency to the team. And now we see players like OG Anunoby averaging close to 20 points a game. So,
but if you talk, so you talk about impact. Here's another thing. Donovan Mitchell does not play defense.
No, nothing yet.
Does not play defense. That's why I think, like, the run, you can definitely make an argument for even Shea or Giannis, as crazy as this may sound. You can make an argument that they have a greater impact than someone like Donovan Mitchell or even Jokic because they actually play both sides of the floor. Jokic, as I think someone pointed out in the chat, obviously the best offensive player in the league by a good margin, but there's two sides to basketball. And if we're going to give MVP based on like who is impacting the game, Giannis impacts the game on a defensive level that Jokic is nowhere close to. Even SGA. SGA is a very, very good defender, probably an underrated defender. He gets a lot of steals. He's long. He moves his feet. He plays team defense. We've seen him. I don't want to say he's an anchor of that Thunder.
But when I say
bigs, but the fact that he is a very good one-on-one perimeter defender, I think that's
after Omar goes. I have a good point too to kind of go.
But real quick, I just want to differentiate like the fact that I'm saying like it's. When I say that, I'm also considering winning a factor because winning, unfortunately, in this league, and if you want to continue in the playoffs, is a factor. So when I'm looking at what Giannis does, in effect, I'm not saying that he's not one of the best players in this league. I'm saying that what he's doing, unfortunately, is like not helping his team. I don't want to say not helping his team win because there's obviously proof in that. But what I'm saying is it's not bringing them over the hump in clutch moments. It's not.
They're the 4th seed, no?
They are, but
let's see the new like 10th seed now or something. I'm confused.
There's like 10 games in between the 4th seed and not 10 games. Let me.
I'm just saying we're talking as if like as far as the Bucks, like they're the 10th seed, like playing for a playing spot. Like they're still.
But what I am saying is that they're what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're 5 games behind the Knicks, and the Knicks are still 6 games behind the Celtics.
Bro, I get what I really do get what you're saying.
2017 when the Thunder were a 6th seed.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
Should Westbrook not have gotten MVP for his triple-double season when the Thunder were the 6th seed that year?
That's a great question.
Because it didn't contribute enough to winning, clearly.
I mean, eventually it did, right?
What do you mean eventually it did? No, they didn't win. They didn't even make the finals.
No, that's honestly something that I do have low-key a problem with.
If you think Westbrook shouldn't have won MVP for that reason, then stand on business. I'm just saying you can't.
I don't want to disrespect him. He's already gotten disrespected very much in his career.
But to add to your point, Max, about the impact, like I get Jokic doesn't play defense, but he is probably one of the most impactful players in the NBA right now. He affects the game on every level. Rebounds, assists, everything runs through Jokic. If you double team Jokic, it's pretty much a free assist. If you send he can score shoot threes. He can score in the mid range. He can score in the post. Everything goes to Jokic. Like, he's not a great defender, but he does impact the game pretty much on every level other than that.
I will say, Jokic is a bad defender. If you watch Nikola Jokic, he is a bad defender. He is actively a big negative. Now, listen, you could also very much argue, since he does everything on offense, the other 4 guys on the court should be playing better defense around him. Fair enough. True. Guy does everything on offense. He deserves to take a break. But fact of the matter is, he might be the worst defensive big man in the NBA, and that's
Alex levels of defense.
If you watch him, you know how guys do, like, you know, if you go to a game, you see players warming up and they got the dudes like holding the sticks in front of you to like practice contested shots and like the pads when dudes drive for contested layups. I think those dudes play better defense than Jokic. Like, we can just be real about that.
No, I agree with the defense part. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, if you're not a good defender, you got to do everything else. And literally, Jokic excels at everything
which
else.
is why he's still the best player probably in the world.
Like, that's why the standard for Jokic is like it's so, like, just put it like this. If Jokic played defense, how great of an all-time player would he truly be? Like, if he was just an all-NBA level defender. Like, if we put it like that. No, I agree with you.
Defense
Jake.
Doesn't win MVP. Yeah.
I mean, think it's just it usually goes to whoever's having the best offensive season, I'll say. And
that's why there is DPOI as well. I just got to say
in my opinion. True. Well, except for
I just think MVP should be a little more. It should be a balance between offense and defense and winning and impact. I think you can balance all those 4.
That's a good opinion, Tatum burner. That's a good opinion.
Yeah, it's Jokic, bro. Like, what? Think about it like this, bro. He's scoring almost 30 points a game, and he's getting like 10 plus assists a game, which is added up to another 30 plus points a game. Like, dude impacts the game so much. Like, I don't know, bro. It has to be Jokic. Like, shout out to Shea. Oh man, it's hard. MVP race for me is hard, bro. Because Shea, once again, having a great elite year. Like, great's not even the word. An elite year, first seed again. By pretty much a landslide right now. Yeah. And it's looking like he's probably not going to win MVP again.
It's so crazy because most of the time he did it without Chet and Holmgren. I mean, Chet and Holmgren. That's freaking crazy. Chet and Hartenstein. Chet and Hartenstein. He did it most of the time without his main defensive pieces, which is crazy.
Exactly. Like how? Like, average 29, 13, and 11 is crazy. To get those averages, bro, that means you have to have like 20 plus in some of those categories on any given night. Like, to get that average out, it's insane, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Like, Jokic.
Yeah, man. Jokic is. I mean, I love Jokic. I mean, you know what? I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say I love Jokic. I don't, because I don't. And I've told y'all this before. I've had this opinion before. I don't think Jokic is going to win another championship in his career. I don't think the Nuggets have the capability to build another team around him like they did that first year. I don't think so. I think they fucked up when they lost Bruce Brown. I think they fucked up when they signed Michael Porter Jr. that $100 million a year contract. Like, I think they fucked up on all accounts. That's what I think about the Nuggets. But Jokic is
all I'm saying. I would not be mad. I would not be mad whatsoever if Jokic wins MVP, fair enough. I'm not gonna be mad, but I wouldn't riot like some people would if they gave it to SGA for being higher in the standings and for being a much better defender. I would not be mad if they gave it to SGA. I think he is almost as deserved.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
I mean, and then it's like after that, Donovan Mitchell, Tatum, LeBron. I mean, I don't think Tatum top 5. He can be. I'll slide Tatum top 5, but
yeah. Definitely.
It's probably a 2-horse race if we're being honest.
Yeah, that is. We were talking about the MVP race. Let's talk about the huge stat lines. We briefly touched on Jokic's 30-20-20 game, the first in NBA history. Shea had back-to-back 50 plus point games. Tatum went crazy. Halliburton
wasn't 50-40.
Oh, my bad. You're right.
I think it was like, didn't he have like 3 straight 4? I'll double check that, but I'm pretty sure it was like 3 straight 40s and one of them for 50.
I could swear I saw back-to-back 50s, but please double check that for me.
Wait, what was it? Back-to-back 50
what? Points.
50-point games. I don't think they were 50s. Both
for who?
50s. SGA.
I think. Please correct me if I'm wrong, guys.
No, it was 51, 41, and 40. So he had 3 straight 40s.
Okay, fair enough.
You don't count the game he sat out. He sat out a game. But
you're talking about free throw, man.
41, 40. So kind of good.
Yeah.
How many points of those were on the free throw line? Just out of curiosity.
I mean, how?
No disrespect. I know disrespect.
50-point game. He had 10 free throws, and 8 free throws. So 28 of that. 131.
Yeah. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
I'm just saying, I seen dude go to the line 50 months. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Honestly, I don't know if y'all seen that clip. Since we're talking about Shea right now, did y'all see the clip of him on Russell Westbrook where he drew that foul and they called that whistle?
Yeah, that was
lean into the goal and they look around like this and just flops, bro. That is the most disgusting level of basketball. I'm sorry, bro.
I do agree.
There's a lot of things. There is even a lot of things last night in the Knicks game that I saw from Miles McBride that I didn't like. I remember I saw this stupid foul and they couldn't challenge because they ran out of challenges. But he literally slaps. I forget who's guarding him, but he slaps him in like the torso / midsection area, and then he literally falls and slips, and then he gets the call, and I'm just like, okay, this is benefiting me, but like I don't like it.
Brunson was foul bitten in our game too, bro. That was oh my goodness, bro.
I mean, at some point the refs just have to step up and start making these calls. Yeah. Although
that's on them.
Because when the refs start making these calls, then players are just going to whine and complain even more. They already complained they don't get enough fouls.
Dude, they complain all the time. Max, do you see it now? Earl, do you remember this? We had this conversation. We had to argue with Max because he thought that Jalen Brunson did not argue as much as Julius Randle. We're not talking about the Julius Randle conversation. Julius Randle conversation out of the window. We're talking about the amount of times that Jalen Brunson freaking complains a game.
Top 5
at the time, that was true, and I still think it is true. It's just everyone complains.
Shea, Jalen Brunson, Trae Young.
That's a good one. Embiid is a great one. Shout out Tatum.
Last one. Who's my last one? What's one more chat? Luka. No, Luka is a bro. Okay,
that's a collective list right there. That's a collective list.
Hall of Fame foul baiter, bro. He will search for a foul call at the cost of just taking a terrible shot. So I love Luka though. He's a Laker. Obviously, I ride with my Lakers, but he does do it too. I can't lie. The
crazy thing about a lot of these foul baiters that I've noticed is the refs tend not to give them the calls that are actually fouls. Like sometimes you'll see like Trae Young get smacked to the floor, or like Brunson get smacked to the floor, or Luka just blatantly get hit on the arm, and they won't call those. But then they'll come back the very next possession, do a clear foul bait, and that's the one the refs will give a foul to. So like
you know what that is sometimes. You know what that is sometimes? So I've seen this in like rec games before. Like I don't know if this is a common thing among refs themselves, or if this is just something that the NBA does or they do. But the refs would go up to the guys and be like, "My bad, I missed your call," and then they would call a foul on the other end if it's like a little.
They feel like makeup calls.
Wait, what?
I feel like a lot
they have to sell it. They have to sell it appropriately for the ref to be like, I could justify that as a foul. That's something that people do.
Wait, by rec games you mean 2K?
Oh no.
I was like, what? I was so confused.
What?
Come on.
You said foul baiting in rec games.
Brain
on.
Just
playing
Dude,
2K.
turn the video game off for a second.
I'm just saying, because I've seen, hey, look.
It's taking a charge of the blacktop.
I will see Omar go into a contested lane and be like, oh, I didn't mean to press that, but I didn't mean to shoot.
Nah, there do be some times where I do be trying to pump fake the ball and it just shoot it. Because I'm used to thumb shooting with my joystick.
Maybe that's his mistake.
I gotta start button shooting when I'm going in the post because that's literally what it is.
Going up, I didn't mean to shoot.
Because I stupidly do the thumb trick, the joystick. The joystick takes you into your shot regardless and makes you shoot regardless. If you're shooting with button, I could more or less get that pump fake off more accurately. But when I'm doing the pro stick, it takes me into the shot regardless. So I'm gonna start taking my shots with the button, at least the layups with the button. Fair enough.
Okay, here's a question for y'all. We're getting a little off track, but that's fine. Is the hand
We're
a part of
good.
the ball? Is the hand a part of the ball? If you block somebody, you get their hand. Is that a foul?
Yes, I feel like if you
I do.
you're saying
I do, Q.
if you're blocking me and it hits my hand first, are you saying like they don't call it a foul, correct? Right? As long as you're
if you hit the ball first and the ball is completely released by the time you get the hand and the hand contact isn't egregious, I think they'll let it go. You can't like full smack the hand afterwards, but if it's like ball and then a little hand, they'll let it go.
I think it's like the palm area, but I don't think you're allowed to. I think it's like really minuscule.
I don't know, bro. I feel like if you touch the hand and they're going up, I still feel like that affects the shot in some type of form. I think it should be a foul. I don't think it's marginal contact in my opinion. Like if you get your hand hit, the point is to block the ball, correct? If you hit my shoulder, it's a foul. If you hit my elbow, my arm, my leg, it's a foul due to contact. So why should it change if you hit my hand, but you just happen to touch a little bit of the basketball? It's marginal. Not a fan of that. It's a foul.
Okay, this is weird. So I looked it up on Google. It says here when a player's hand is in contact with the ball, the part of the hand is considered part of the ball.
I hate that.
If
you smack my hand, that should be a foul.
Like, yeah. If you smack my arm, it could be a foul.
So
when I leave the arena, okay, then let's ask the refs this. When I leave the arena, is there a basketball attached to my hand? When I come to the arena, when I'm off the court,
there you go.
When I leave, is there a basketball?
It's stupid. I agree with that.
To watch a movie or something like that. Unless ball is life, like in your sicko. Maybe Kevin Durant lives his life like that. I don't know.
I knew you were going to throw Kevin Durant in there somehow.
But for the average NBA player, it's not. So it's not. My hand is not a part of the ball. It's not marginal contact. That's a dumb rule.
So what I've also realized is like incidental contact that is incidental in an effort to play an opponent reach or loose ball or perform normal defensive or offensive movements is not considered illegal. So if you accidentally smack somebody in the hand while going up for a block, it's not. It's like, bro, I don't know. This doesn't make sense to me. The NBA is playing weird basketball. Oh my god, my hair is crazy. But the NBA is playing weird basketball.
He talked about Dylan Brooks and his shot contest, how he hits people's hands and adjusts their shot and stuff like that, and then call foul. So I definitely think I agree. Okay, my problem with the marginal, non-marginal thing, it's not consistent. Like I'll see one referee call it this way, another referee will let it slide. If I'm at like a Sixers or something game, if Embiid waves his arm or something like that, like I feel like the consistency overall, as far as referees, it just feels really random. Yeah. And shout out to, who was the referee who got caught up the other day? No. Oh, it was Natalie. What was it? That referee named Natalie. It went super viral because I forgot what NBA player said.
Embiid.
Yeah, I think it was Jerome.
Ty Jerome. Talking about Ty Jerome earlier. Yeah, he named dropped
like, it has to stop. I was like, dang.
Wait, what happened? Wait, I'm sorry. Did I miss something? What happened with Ty Jerome that day?
And it was just like a press conference. He called out a ref by name and said she was really bad.
Oh, yes. I remember that. Yeah. You're right.
It's got to stop, especially.
And I don't think he got fined for that. If I'm not mistaken, chat. No, because usually I see the reports unless somebody has a report.
They're probably waiting to bring the hammer down on him. They're probably waiting to bring like a $200K fine.
So I have a great question to move on from this and to spark up some debate in the chat. Chat, pay attention to this. So if y'all could retire one role player and add him to your favorite team, who would y'all choose?
You mean unretire?
Unretire. My bad. Unretire. Oh, he got fined $25K. Sorry, guys. He did get fined.
That's not much. I thought it'd be a lot more than that.
Jeremy Lin. You're not taking Jeremy Lin away from me.
Like, okay. I need more explanation. Like, is it in the prime? Is it just
dude, it could be anything.
But it's got to be a role player. You can't unretire Michael Jordan and put him on the Lakers. You can't unretire Kareem and put him on the Lakers.
Put him on the Lakers. Like, are you talking about just my specific team who's played on my organization?
You can answer for the Lakers. You could pick another, like a role player.
Any role player.
It doesn't have to be a player that played for that team. Like, my answer for the Knicks, personally, I would say Gerald Wallace. If I could unretire, like, mid-2000s Gerald Wallace, I think he'd fit perfectly on this Knicks team. Good defender, lengthy wing, moves his feet, Can create his own shot a little on offense. He was never like a 1A, and obviously he wouldn't have to be a 1A, but he could just be like a super six man for this Knicks team that needs shot creation and tough physical wing defense, like switchable wings off the bench.
We got a lot of good answers in the chat, actually. And we're going to go over those in a few minutes. Earl, what's your pick? Keep going, y'all. We're going to go over them in the chat shortly.
Honestly, I'm still in Lakers zone. Shout out to my Lakers fans. I'm going Ron Artest, man. We need a little bit of physicality, mental game in the locker room a little bit. We need some dogs. Imagine him instead of Trey Jamison as my number one crash out option, bro. I'm just saying. I'll take
You're not taking a big, though?
I mean, yeah. Yeah,
he's not replacing Trey Jamison minutes.
True. Oh, I mean, he would immediately replace Trey Jamison minutes.
But not at the center. Not at the center.
We just want to
I like that. I like that in the chat. Lakers Zone said Bynum. I think
Bynum is a good.
Bynum's a good answer.
I was thinking Odom too as well.
Big Memphis. Your answer before was better. Tony Allen.
Rudy Gay's a borderline player. Borderline.
I would say
emergency rotational player.
Yeah.
All right. Mine. Oh wait, I'm so stupid. I was about to pick somebody, but then I realized it's a role player.
Yeah, and again, they don't have to play for that team like they play for today. So, like for the Lakers, you could say like, "Oh, I want to take."
Oh yeah,
like that's a good one.
Montrezl Harrell off my bench.
Yeah, I want prime Montrezl.
Prime Montrezl Harrell, 6-man Montrezl Harrell right now.
Yo, honestly, this is gonna sound ridiculous. I want prime PJ Tucker. I want prime PJ Tucker. I want that aggressiveness. I want that leadership. I want that on my team, and I want that energy.
And PJ Tucker.
I want that PJ Tucker.
The only thing
there's so many better role players that did PJ Tucker's job.
Yeah, it's not crazy.
But what do the Knicks need?
It's not crazy.
But what do the Knicks need?
They need Gerald Wallace or
when you have access to every role player, it is kind of crazy, bro.
Role player to unretire. He'd fit well on any team in the modern NBA. 6'6", can shoot the ball really well, offensive creation.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know. I agree with you, but I mean, I'm strictly doing it for the aggressiveness. That's all. That's how I feel about it. Does it come with Philly, PJ Tucker? Because no.
I get that big, but I'm thinking like, there's got to be another name. Like,
okay,
all right, prime all-time 6-man type candidate role players.
Probably either the two that immediately come to mind for me are Iman Shumpert and J.R. Smith. Either one of those players, to be honest, like my favorite player next to Carmelo Anthony was Iman Shumpert. I love Iman Shumpert. His hair was freaking crazy. Shane Battier is a great answer.
Give me Iguodala.
Oh, Iguodala. Shane Battier.
I don't know if we're counting Iguodala as a role. I mean, I guess he was kind of.
You know what? I'll change my answer. It's Iman Shumpert. I'm taking Iman Shumpert. I'm putting him on this Knicks team.
That is a good answer.
Putting him on this Knicks team, putting him on the bench.
Is Iguodala not a role player?
Iguodala is a role player. That's a great one.
I don't know. Depends what Iguodala you're taking. Someone said Lou Will.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay, wait. Yeah, you know what? I agree with you because he was averaging good numbers when he was with the Sixers at first. So
imagine Lou Will on the Cavs playing the Ty Jerome role.
That's not bad.
Give me oh no, he's not a role player. Never mind.
Who are you gonna say?
Nobody.
Give me Seth Curry on the Warriors.
I was gonna throw a Hawks, but I forget. Like he's legit.
Give me Seth Curry on the Warriors.
I mean, they could do well. When is prime Seth Curry?
Can I have role player Malik?
Oh, Jason Terry.
Oh, Jason Terry on. Oh, okay. On which team though?
Jamal Crawford.
I was assuming Mavericks. Jason Terry, right?
Wait. I don't think Jamal Crawford was a role player.
What was he?
I think he was more of an all-around player.
At times in his career, I don't think you could take I think his best years, he was better than a role player.
Yeah.
So I guess
I agree. Role player.
You couldn't take one of those years.
Role player is anyone.
A role player is somebody that does like one or two things like really, really good. Like,
yeah, that's what he does. He only does like one or two things really, really good.
I mean,
in his
handling,
prime, he's like a
shooting.
20-point a game scorer, though. At that point, is he really a role player?
Hold on, let me look at the stats because I feel
I
like
agree at points in his career, like when he was with the Clippers towards the end.
Is a six-man not like a role player, right?
When he wasn't playing a lot of minutes, obviously he became a role player. But when he was on the come up, he was not a role player.
I feel like you're overestimating his value.
Tyson Chandler is a good answer too. I see Tyson Chandler in the chat. That's a great answer.
He had some really good years.
Manu is a great answer as well. I would justify Manu as a role player, but I'd also say he was brought off the bench because he needed to come off the bench. He wasn't brought off the bench because
of player,
he was bad.
But Jamal Murray's not. I mean, what I said, Jamal? Yeah.
He said Jamal
Murray. Jamal Crawford.
Okay, Earl. Jamal Crawford had a 4-year stretch where he averaged 20.6, 19.6, 19.7, and 18 a game. So you can't take those years.
Yeah.
I mean, still what, 18, 14, 14,
and he was
16,
playing. No, he was playing 37 minutes a game, 40 minutes a game, 35 minutes per game, 38 minutes per game. Like that's not a role play when you're playing more than 3/4 the game, objectively. If you want to take the years where he did come off the bench, that's fine. I'm just saying you can't take those prime years where he was a number 1 or 2 option.
Which he was for a few years on the Knicks as well.
Yeah, he was.
So we're going by minutes per game.
I don't think he's
Well, I mean, yeah. Like if you're playing 35 minutes a game, are you really a role
Big
player?
Baby Davis, that's a great answer.
Like 30, 28, 26.
Let me go up in the chat. I want to see some of these answers. Oh, we got
Kendrick Perkins.
Jeremy Lin, we started off with. That's a good. He's a good role player. Sasa Vucevic, sharpshooter. Michael Cooper. Michael Finley. Ron Artest was said in the chat around the same time Earl said it.
Good answer.
No, I saw it in the chat. Yeah.
Tony Allen was a great answer.
Who'd be a good. You know who's a good shout for this? You know who's a good shout for this? Vernon Maxwell. Shout out Mad Max. He was on those Rockets championship teams in the mid-90s. Just a hustle, kind of like a little bit of everything. Just an athletic wing. Kind of like he was like a 1990s Iman Shumpert type guy, Omar. He was like a 1990s Shumpert kind of player.
Well, I mean, Shumpert was already 1990s. His hairdo was something else.
His hairdo was the 70s.
His hairdo was 70s. All right. Anybody else got anything else in the any other players in the chat?
We got some really good role players that would fit well in the modern game.
I think I'll take Zaza Pachulia.
It's a good one. Zaza's a great one.
The different Nuggets.
Big Baby Davis is a great answer.
Only kidding, of course. I'm not taking
Prime Joe Harris was a great answer. That 1 year of Joe Harris that's a good answer.
Give me prime Alex Lynn.
Where he just didn't miss.
That's now, bro.
Can I upgrade? No, it's not, bro. You don't know how good Alex Lynn was. No, give me prime
Alex Lynn used to average 7 points a game. He's pretty good.
Yeah, give me prime Alex Lynn. Give me literally I just want that one season where he's putting up 11 points a game. That's all I need. If we're talking
prime
about
Trey Jemison.
Okay. I need an answer from Lakers fans. Is it Jameson or Jemison?
It's Jemison.
I interpret it as Jemison.
It's Jemison.
It's Jam, not Jam.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're clear on that.
Okay.
One more name I'll throw out there. What about Quentin Richardson? Absolute demon, sharpshooting demon. Imagine Quentin Richardson in the corner in the modern NBA.
I miss Pablo Prigioni.
Korver and Redick too. They're both elite. They were both 5 years too soon.
We got Redick at home.
Did Korver win the championship?
What's up, Southern Charm? How you doing today? Wait, what did you say about Kyle Korver?
Kyle Korver and JJ Redick. They are role players? I'd say that. Shout out Q.
JJ Redick coaching JJ Redick.
That's a funny.
Wait, Kobe was 2nd and 6th man of the year voting.
He would put himself in the corner.
I did not know that. Maybe I didn't remember that.
It was
crazy.
probably at the very end of his career when everyone was respectfully kind of overrating him just based on name.
Oh, rookie of the year,
30% from the field.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, no, but those are some solid answers. I like that. That was a fun little segment.
That was a fun little segment. Okay, so we can move on to our last and final segment of the day. And guys, be sure to check us out Friday. We're going to be releasing a 2-minute drill episode soon. Be sure to look that out on YouTube, and we'll be on here sooner or later this week. But to close off this episode, we're going to talk about the sleeper teams in the currently in the play-in.
Friday as well.
I'm sorry. Oh yes, we are live Friday as well. You're all right.
Okay, right. We'll be live Friday in here.
Yes, we are live Friday also in here, guys. Be sure to check us out here on Friday as well.
But yeah, looking at the play-in teams.
Play-in teams that we're talking about now. Let me pull up everything. Okay, so
yeah,
the first team that I got. Wait. Sorry. I'm sorry. You're good?
Yeah, I was gonna say we're looking at the teams that are currently in the play-in. We're gonna be going over which teams we think could make the biggest, which teams could be sleepers, and if there are any sleepers currently in the play-in that might, we'll say, be able to win a round in the playoffs. Are there any play-in teams that you could see actually winning their first round matchup? Let's say they stay in the play-in and win a first round matchup on the road. Like, who's kind of those teams that might make like a Miami Heat 2023 run out of the play-in? Yeah. So if you're looking at the play-in right now, you've got in the East, you've got the Orlando Magic, you've got the Atlanta Hawks, you got the Chicago Bulls, and you got the Miami Heat. And out West, you got the Minnesota Timberwolves, the LA Clippers, the Sacramento Kings, and the Dallas Mavericks. So of those 8 teams, which ones are y'all going to keep an eye on as potential first round upsetters?
I am.
I'll start with the East. I think first thought for me is Magic. Obviously, I think recently they've been struggling a little bit, but I think if they can kind of hold on to that play-in spot, kind of lock in on their rotations, and obviously have their guys healthy. Don't know the status of Jalen Suggs. I think is he done for the year? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Think they're one of the only teams I feel like in the East, and maybe I'm wrong, that have a chance of actually winning a round if they secure that play-in spot, in my opinion.
That's true. I kind of agree with that one. I am looking at the Magic, though, in those just to see if they can get healthy, or at least they can like try to lock in more a little bit on defense. I'm not 100% sure where Jalen Suggs comes back in, but I do believe I read a report once saying that he was out for the season. Okay. But another team besides the Magic that I am looking at in the play-in is the Miami Heat. I mean, I gotta be honest.
I'm picking remote strictly to the East right now.
Yeah, I'm picking for the East right now. Yes, I'm looking at the Miami Heat other than the Magic because I mean, I really don't see. You know what? Perhaps by that time, I know we're talking about now, but perhaps by that time the Hawks are in there. So I'm gonna predict the Hawks, and we're just gonna call. I think the Hawks are gonna at least win a game.
Hawks are gonna have a guaranteed playoff spot. We're chilling.
Okay, now. Well, they're 7th in the East. I don't know how
they're 7th in the East. One game behind the Magic, 2 games behind the Heat.
You mean ahead?
We're good in the A. We're good in the A.
We're good in the A. All right, guys. Max, what's your answer?
I think for the East, at least, I'm also going to say Miami, just simply because of the coaching and the core. I mean, they've made runs out the play-in before. They've made kind of Cinderella playoff runs. Obviously, those were with Jimmy Butler, but you still got Bam Adebayo and his illegal picks. You've got Tyler Hero. You've got Eric Spoelstra. Maybe Andrew Wiggins just popped off, has a really good playoff series. Looks like 2022 championship Wiggins. Mm-hmm. If that's the case, maybe they could.
That's why I'm looking at the Heat
or
too,
Cleveland. Yeah. I don't know. Probably not though. I mean, it's tough because in the East, the play-in teams are going to play Boston and Cleveland.
I think as soon as Andrew Wiggins comes back, he's going to start going off.
Wiggins fell off.
Maybe.
I think he's going to go off.
No, but like moving on to the West.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a decent year, though. He's been decent. He's not 2022 Wiggins, but I feel like he's been all right. No?
But to move on to the West, Earl, what's your answer for the West? Who do you think's going to come out of there?
Easily the Timberwolves. I think they start off the season kind of slow, but as of recently, they've really been figuring things out. I think they're kind of getting the chemistry right. It took a long time, but they look good. Like as a team, Anthony Edwards seems to be doing well. I think Rudy Gobert came back last game, if I'm not mistaken, or the game before that. So yeah, I think they're kind of figuring things out and they're getting back into the flow. So for me, I got the T-Wolves.
Okay.
I'll back you on that T-Wolves. I think.
I gotta agree too.
I would agree with that.
I gotta agree too. Honestly, I think the T-Wolves are finally starting to put it together. I saw a stat where they are 10-0 when Julius Randle is in the lineup. Believe it or not, you guys can look this stat up, please. Please correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Apparently, the Timberwolves are 10-0 when Julius Randle is in the lineup. Just look it up.
Just look it up.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it for now.
I gotta look it up too. But they are also on a 5-game winning streak, so it's also not.
Do we think the Clippers have a chance if they're healthy?
No.
Do we think the the Clippers have a chance?
No, they don't.
I think they do. I think whenever somebody has Kawhi Leonard and James Harden on their team, and I think it's a threat. You know, I'm not gonna write them off, but I'm also not gonna hold them with confidence. I don't think they're gonna like win it all or something, but I think they can at least make a little push.
Do you think they can win a playoff series?
Yeah.
I'll just say this. I would love to play Clippers in a playoff series. Easy pick.
Julius Randle.
But yeah, I don't know, bro. Clippers, I think they've definitely not what they were the first part of the season. I'll say that. I think the Linsanity run has kind of calmed down a little bit, respectfully.
I mean, yeah, it was just more of a James Harden run. It wasn't really Clippers run, I would say, personally. But I mean,
you got Zubac playing good. Norman Powell still like that's why I kind of called it Clippers run. Like they
Powell.
Let me not disrespect the Clippers. I think what they've done this season was really impressive, especially because they did a lot of it without Kawhi Leonard being healthy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just don't see them as like contenders. Like I don't know.
I'm not sure if
I don't think any of these teams are contenders.
True, or like just to win a round. Like I just don't.
They're playing for a reason.
You know, I don't know if he can, but depending on his age too, I'm not sure if he actually can. But if Norman Powell can take like another step forward, maybe average another like 5 points or another 4 to 5 points a game, I think they can maybe do something. But it really depends on
what he
third
did
option.
This year.
Huh?
You're saying like plus 5 to 4 more points that he put up this season?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, they're cooked. If that's what Clippers fans are hoping for, no offense, no offense.
I mean, I'm just here to speculate.
5 more
doing
points
my job.
To his game per season next season is insane.
I think it's possible. Call me crazy. I think crazy. I have hope.
Hold on. Before we end, I have to let me check these numbers.
Crazy.
What are we checking now, Earl?
Norman Powell numbers, bro.
Norman Powell numbers. That is our main topic of today. Norman Powell numbers. Oh man. The Orlando Magic.
Okay.
I mean, listen.
So you think Norman Powell next year is going to be averaging? You think Norman Powell is going to be averaging 29 points per game next season?
I think it's possible. Hey, man. I said I think it's possible. Chat, am I crazy?
Listen, if you told me that Norman Powell would be averaging what is he averaging right now, Earl? What is he averaging right now?
25, right?
23.8.
I said 5.
If you told me that Norman Powell was going to average 23.8 points a game this season, I would have told you you're crazy. So you know what? At this point, all bets are off. I have no.
That's what I'm saying. That's literally what I'm saying.
Do you think he's going to be like a top 5 points per game scorer in the NBA next year?
Dude.
I don't know about 30.
There's a lot of players that can average like 29.
Yes, and Norman Powell is not one of them. I'm sorry. I'm not even trying to be a hater. Y'all, see, this is what's wrong with the NBA. Y'all want to stretch the bar so wide. Norman Powell had an incredible season, and you guys want to make these unrealistic standards of Norman Powell averaging 30 points a game.
I'm saying 25. I'm saying 25.
I'm saying 26 to 28,
basically.
Man. I'm saying 26 to 28. That's what I'm saying, which is very viable.
I'm not going any higher than 25, but still. 25 is my cap for Norman Powell.
Here's me.
I think Norman Powell is a great player. I have hope in him to continue. Whether that has Kawhi Leonard on his team or not, I think he can do it. But I'm not counting him out. Not doing it. Because we had no idea that he could even take the step to average more than 20 points a game. Let alone 23, 24. And earlier this season, he was averaging 25. So let's be real for a second. Let's calm down, because 3 more points, 2 more points is not that crazy for Norman Powell to be averaging.
You said 5 more points, bro.
Okay, I may have thought that he was averaging 22 points a game.
You said 20.
I thought he was averaging slightly less than what
29 points per game is what it would be. You said yes, I can see him getting that.
It's possible. I said it's possible.
Chad, I'm clipping this. I'm putting it in the archive.
I said it's possible.
Here's my final question for today.
Anything is possible. That's right, Lakers Zone. Anything is possible. Anything is possible.
Battle of the LA shooting guards next year. Who's going to average more points per game? Austin Reeves or Norman Powell?
That's true.
Who's going to average more points per game?
Norman Powell, probably. Austin Reeves has to share the ball with Luka and LeBron. So I'm going Norman Powell, probably.
Powell's
got to share it with Harden and Kawhi.
Yeah, but
one vote for Reeves, one vote for Powell, another vote for Towel.
Yeah, Towel.
That's not. Yeah, I don't. Because that would mean that Reeves would be
averaging. I'm not even saying that's an indictment on Reeves.
Like you said. No, and that's not disrespect.
Powell will average more points.
Yeah, that's why I said it. Like, as a Lakers fan, I think Powell is going to have more opportunity to score like that. Like, on a game, on a night where LeBron and Luka can put up 30 or something like that, which they have done, Austin Reeves is probably going to be around that 18-plus mark, not like 25, and that's on season average. So I'll probably go Powell. Yeah.
That's a good prediction.
That's what I got.
That's a good prediction. I don't hate it.
I'll say Powell, but I think Reeves will be close. I can see Reeves averaging 20 a game next year.
Yeah.
That's true.
I can see Austin Reeves.
I think it's a good.
I can see Jalen Johnson average. Did Jalen Johnson average 20 this year before he got hurt? Was he averaging 20?
I think so, but correct me if I'm wrong.
If not, I can see Jalen Johnson taking a step and being 20 points a game next year.
Yeah, because Reeves this year is basically averaging 19, 18.8.
Okay, so that's not that. I guess that's not that.
Yeah, it's like
who's a player who could
it's step not up a 6-point jump like Omar
next year?
No. All right.
Zachary Richardson.
If the Timberwolves trade one of their bigs, now we could average 20 a game.
Here's my hot take for next year, since we're throwing him out there. I think Zachary Richardson next year is going to average 25 points per game.
That's a good one. I think Zach can do it.
Okay. See, now you're just rage baiting. That's elite.
I promise you I'm not rage baiting. If you've been watching him play recently, he's gotten a lot more comfortable. Dude, go look at the stats. I don't know nothing live. Just look at the stats.
25 points per game. See, Earl, do you think he's going to be a top 10 scorer in all of basketball in year 2?
Yep. And I think Trae Young's probably going to be traded. So first option, who's baby?
Yeah, I think Trae's going to be traded within the next couple of years. I think that's a good.
Jalen Johnson wouldn't be the first option.
First and second option. They'll share the ball.
All right, guys, I think we have to end it off here, unfortunately. I want to thank everybody in the chat for participating. Shout out to Lakers Zone. Shout out to Q. Shout out to everybody participating in the chat. We appreciate every single one of you guys. We are going live this week again on Friday for the weekend preview, guys. Make sure to be there and be square. We are going to give you guys the best content that we possibly can. Yes, Earl, I said be here and be square. That's because I wanted to. But anyway, guys, we appreciate every single one of you guys. Check us out on YouTube soon. We're going to post this video on YouTube very shortly, and 2-minute drill will be dropped on Friday as well. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you to all 21 of you. Peace.